Well, hello everyone. It's called technology. So, hey, that's life. Things go smoothly, things go a little rough, but we finally figured it out.
Yes.
Talking. I am your host, Audrey Codner Gibson from ACG Math Tutoring, and I want to welcome you to an oldie but not goodie, but definitely an old person, which Tutors Talking, and we're happy to bring her back. So I just want to introduce to you guys to Miss Veronica as soon as I can click it over. Okay, there we go.
Hi.
Welcome over, Miss Veronica Reid. How are you, Veronica?
Hello. I am well. Thank you so much for having me back. I know it's been a minute. I'm just seeing you just growing and flourishing with this. I think we started with me as one of the first guests, and you have had so many awesome guests since then. I really enjoy it. I'm glad to be back.
Right? And then actually, Veronica is the main reason why we started Two Tutors Talking, because I think we were just getting into the groove of we finished my mastermind and now we're trying to start promoting your business and everything, even though you were doing that for a while.
Right.
And then all of a sudden you're like, you know what, I want to go live, but I don't want to go by myself. And that happens to a lot of tutors. A lot of people want to do things, but they're like, I don't know. And then we just sat down like, all right, well, why don't we just go live together? I'm like, well, what should we call it? I'm like, I don't know. It's just two tutors talking. Hey.
Exactly.
And
I love it. I love it. Yes, yes. Oh my God.
I know. Episode number 33. And we started, I had to look it up because I was like, all right, I knew it was during the summer. No, it wasn't. It was May 10th was the very first episode.
Wow. Oh my God. I can't believe
Right?
how much it's grown. Oh my goodness. That is awesome.
What's going on? What's happening to the business since the last time we spoke?
Thank you. Thank you. So let's see. Since the last time we spoke, I had my summer camp. And that was really fun. I got a chance to work with some students that I've had before. Um, and so it was really cool kind of working with them, getting them ready. And then they had siblings. So I got a chance to work with their siblings over the summer to get them ready for the upcoming school year. And so some of my parents are homeschool families, as well as some parents who do have children that go to the public school. So in this case, it was a homeschool family, and so that was really cool to do that. Then starting off the year fresh. Lots of different things, lots of more opportunities for tutors like myself. Like I'm a part of this vendor program and I have students who are in Virginia as well as in Arizona. And for those who felt like maybe during the pandemic there were some learning losses, you were able, if as a parent, you can get a certain amount of grant money and use that towards vendors who are part of the program. So I am a vendor for the K through 12 acceleration grant in Virginia, and I am also a vendor as part of the ESA in Arizona. So it allows me to work with families who can use grants towards my services. So I've been really benefiting from that, and I'm really glad that that's an opportunity for parents who may need some extra help with funding for tutoring. They see that their child needs help, and so they can use the grant money for my services. And so that's really been a blessing for the business. And so just growing in that way, um, and just continuing to grow. I'm doing a couple of things where I'm also working with a local school district as well, working with students in that way. So that's really cool also. So just continuing to grow and help as many students as I can. And we have the Christmas holiday coming up, because it was really funny, because when I was looking at the calendar, as like as an entrepreneur, we're thinking, okay, we've got one more week to go. But then when I look at the school calendar, I'm like, oh, wait a minute, this is the last week for a lot of schools. So actually, I may not have one more week to go. People might be going on vacation next week, and which was true because one of my I was a family in Georgia, and the father let me know on Monday, okay, we're going to be going on vacation this Friday, and we're going to be out next week, and I was like, okay, that's cool, that's cool, you know it. So for myself, I have to like shut my entrepreneur mind down and be like, okay, holiday season, you know, what can I do? You know, let me celebrate the holiday as
Right.
well. And give myself that time to just chill also because you know it's easy to get burnt out, it really is.
Oh, yeah. Because when it comes down to around when we're I know a lot of companies, a lot of people will be like, "Yeah, we're looking forward to the holidays because that's when it's gonna get busy and everything." But for tutors, it's the opposite, so it's almost like take on as many clients as you can because you're in during the winter months, like, you'll be out for about 2, possibly 3 weeks,
Yes.
depending on when the kids are or where your kids are located. Starting to get some in other areas, like you said, Georgia and, Florida are gonna be taking the won't see them guys until, like, after the 2nd of January, but
Right, right,
in
right.
Maryland, we're kinda lucky that well, not really lucky, but our last day is not until not this Friday, but next Friday.
Ah,
So,
yes, yes.
it's always kinda like that prep. It's that crazy prep where you always ask them in the beginning of December, like, "Alright, so when is your winter holiday coming in?" And you're just making your arrangements. So there were some other things that you do other than tutoring, because I'm seeing some award event places that you've been going to, and tell us a little bit about that.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Yes, yes, yes. So my husband, he started a local online publication, and he recently won an award for just what he was working on, and it's been really awesome. We had an opportunity to go to that. I think it was last month, and so he was nominated for you know, best local media, and he also won an award for our, you know, our town where we live in Virginia. And so that was really, really cool and really fun. We had an opportunity there, and it was fun because it was a sneaker ball, and I've never been to one of those before. So when we, so you get to, you know, you can dress up, but you can also wear your favorite sneakers. So we had a chance to kind of see some really, really cool sneakers with outfits and things together. So that was really cool, and yeah, so that was one of the things that we got an opportunity and a chance to do, which was really cool.
Right. Oh, that's kind of neat. You probably seen like some retros, like some Air Forces and Jordans
Oh,
probably came into the mix.
yes, 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 exactly, exactly. Oh my goodness, and it was so funny, you know, just seeing just some of the things that people were putting together, but it was really cool. It was really cool because I think I was wearing some Adidas and I was like, man, I need to get me some new fresh kicks, you know. I just like the classic black type of sneaker, you know, with Adidas's. Um and so it was pretty cool. And the award that my husband won was the Edward R. Murrow Award, and so that was really cool. Yeah, yeah.
Nice. So even though you're doing like so many different things, I mean, there was also a thing with your book. You also had like one of your books, like the whole like how to get away from your 9 to 5, or what's the exact title of it?
Yes, yes. How to Fire Your 9 to 5, which is one of my first book, first of many that I got a chance to write. And so well, I did an event where I was a speaker, and I was actually celebrating that because I think that was about 2 years ago, and I kind of shared it because I reshared it because it was such a cool opportunity. But we had went down to Southern Virginia, and it was the Let It Go conference. And I, along with a few other speakers, had a chance to just kind of talk about our story and how we got to where we are. And so I got a chance to share my story about how I was in the classroom for 19 years, and I dealt with burnout, and I was ready to, just make a change. And that's where I started. That's kind of the beginning grounds for Reach Scholars Tutoring. And I wrote about my experience on, if anybody else kind of feels like I do, what can you do, and what are those steps to become an entrepreneur? And so I wrote a book about that, and I got an opportunity to present and talk about that. So that was a really fun time, and a really cool memory. So I had to reshare it. Just it's good to see the things that you do. Sometimes life happens and you're like, but then when you see those Facebook memories, you're like, oh yeah, that was pretty cool. I did do that.
Right? And that's why it's like I kinda sat I think it was yesterday that I did my live on, you know, gratitude.
Yes.
Sometimes, like you said, we don't take any time to just sit down and reflect. And even though Facebook makes us crazy, Instagram is too much, TikTok, like another dance, like, can we? Um, but it just seems like we all just need to just take a moment and just to reflect. And the same thing happens like with our tutoring business, and especially for parents that have kids that needs assistance. Like there's times that you're so busy running around that you don't really say, "Okay, what does my child need?" Okay, I wanna do it. I love my child, but I just can't do it. So this is like a great opportunity to get someone else that this is what they do. Like for us, like this is our only jobs. Like we're not doing back and forth. I'm not doing part-time. Like this is full-time, doing the tutoring, presenting and introducing the world to different tutors, from whatever perspective, elementary, middle, high school, even up to adults.
Yeah.
So, to kind of really help with the parents, the ones that are going to be taking on tutors, because some people just don't know. They have
Mhm.
no clue. Talk about a little bit of some of the things that you've been noticing in your sessions.
Yes, yes, definitely. Some of the things that I notice at times is when students are reading, they may not know exactly what to do when they come to a word that they don't know. And there are strategies and skills to help kind of, be able to solve those words. But, they may, even though they may see a picture of a cup, they don't know to use that, for an example, as okay, use the picture to help you with that, or how to get your mouth ready when you come to a word you don't know, that kind of thing. So there are some things and skills that I'm seeing that they're missing. I was talking with one of my parents recently, and so she was just sharing with me because she started homeschooling her children this year, and she was saying because they're I think this is the family that's in Arizona, and she was saying that her children they didn't really know the months of the year, and they didn't know how to like maybe if they saw it they would know it, but how do you spell that they didn't know. And there was just some math skills and things that they were missing, and she was like, oh my god, I can't believe that these are things that they don't know. And so it's just like certain things that you're hearing, you're like, oh wow, even that may sound shocking to myself or maybe to you, but there are children that there are some things that they may not have learned in school, or maybe they were overlooked, or maybe they were just passed on. And we're starting to see a lot of that fall down. Like we're seeing a lot of that happening where we're like, oh wow, this student may be this many years behind. How did this happen? And I think sometimes people might feel like, oh, the pandemic was the reason why, but actually I kind of feel like they were already having those issues prior to the pandemic, but the pandemic just really exposed a lot of that once students started going back to school. And so people kind of blame the pandemic for it, and you can blame it for some part of it, but prior to that there was some missing pieces that needed to be put together in that puzzle, and it got really exposed after that.
Mhm. And it just seems like a lot of people are expecting parents to know what should be missing, but let's be real,
Right.
we don't.
Right.
Like,
Right.
you have your child, you're just trying to keep the child alive, have it grow, progress. All right, be a good citizen, continue on, and then repeat the cycle. You find someone, you have a kid, and just keep it going. So
Right.
there's always missing pieces, but when it comes to academics, like, okay, can my child spell? Can my child sound the sound, like, make the sounds? Can they put words together?
Hmm.
What those words are. So that's when you have someone like, like Veronica, that's going to be able to break those concepts down so they can do some advanced.
Yes, definitely. Definitely.
What are something that the parents should be, there is something missing. So what are those look fors that parents should see before getting a tutor?
Definitely, definitely. So some of the things that a parent can look for is, you know, you want to look for a tutor who is specialized in what they're doing. If a person is a certified teacher, for example, and they've had some years in the field, that's a great start right there. Not to say that there's anything wrong with maybe a tutor that doesn't have maybe their teaching certificate or even a degree or, those kind of things, but you're getting somebody who already has been working in the field. They have some experience. And if they have some kind of training in literacy, especially if you're looking for a reading tutor, that's a plus as well. And so you want to look for their I think that it's important to look for their education too, to say, okay, you know what, this person is certified, this person has been teaching for a while, so this person knows what to do. So that's one of the things to definitely look for, and I think that's very important. I mean, it's okay to even ask that question, because you're trying to vet the best person for your child. um, Also, you want to know, how do they assess? Uh, you know, are they making sure? Can they tell you what your child's reading level is if they assess them? You know, can they give you, just some tips and some skills that can really help them? Like maybe they're going on vacation or something like that. While they're away, even though they cannot see a tutor, maybe on their vacation. What are some things you'd like for them to do? That kind of thing. But it's very important because a lot of times parents are kind of like, well, I think that my child is this, but I really, really want to know because I'm not sure. So it's always good to make sure that they have some type of assessment skills, something that's going to let you know where their child is. Are they going to be flexible? Sometimes life happens, things, just life happens. And so you need some type of flexibility. If my child is sick, can I reschedule with you? What is that? Like for myself, I may have like a parent, if I say, hey, you know what, let me know 12 hours in advance if you need to reschedule. And you can, there's no problem with that because life happens. I know things happen. You know, like, for example, I had a parent who was in a car accident, like just before the session. And she was like, I can't make it. And I said, no worries. Don't even worry about it. Just make sure to take care of yourself. And we'll talk about what we can do, to kind of make sure that we can, reschedule or, however you want to do it, because you need that flexibility because life happens. Making sure that you have that good communication, whether you like to communicate. Some parents might like to communicate via email, text, phone, Zoom, however, you communicate what's best for them. It's always good to find out, okay, how are you going to let me know how my child is doing, and what's the best way to get in contact with you, just in case if I can't make it or if there's something going on, let me know, that kind of thing. So, the communication is very important. And somebody who's patient, who cares. I think a lot of times parents may want their child to jump like 2 and 3 grades in like 3 months.
Right, or less.
Yeah, right. Or less. And you have to kind of have realistic expectations. You really do. If your
Mhm.
child is 4 grades behind, They're not going to make it to fourth grade in 3 months. It's just not going to happen. But what is the plan? Ask the plan. Okay, how where do you realistically see my child? Can they realistically get to fourth grade in 3 months? Have those conversations. So let the let the parent know up front. So I think that it's very key for parents to ask all those kind of questions, however wild it may sound, because you are vetting for your child and you really want to know the truth and you want to know what's best for them. Making also sure that you're the goal setting, the tracking, all of that. You want to know, okay, what is a goal? If my child's having issues with being able to recognize letters, what realistically can they do in 3 months time? Are they going to be able to make that kind of significant progress so that they can do well? Or what are some things that we're seeing? And a lot of times you can kind of test it when you do your assessment. The teacher will be able to, or the tutor will be able to let realistically. So ask those kinds of questions. And always, I know it's important to see what the cost is, things like that. And a lot of times tutors can bundle things in their package, so that way okay, this value, even like for example, and sometimes I see those ads online where like they'll be like, oh, you can get a tutor for like $15 or $10 or something like that. But
Mm,
at the same time, what are you getting? So you got to keep that in mind
right.
when you're looking for a quality and qualified tutor.
So it's like, I know money sometimes is the aspect, but
Mm-hmm.
my thing is gonna be the value. So I know a lot of people, especially parents, they're like, "Look, I don't know too much about private tutoring." Like, we know because it's our world. Like, we see tutors everywhere because
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
we're just a part of that algorithm. But for some parents, they may not know where to find a tutor, so they'll ask their friends, and immediately they take them to those big name places. So the facilities that they go to. And
Mm-hmm.
this is the one thing I always tell parents that are reaching out to me, and they'll just say, "Well, your price is a little too high and all that." And I'll say, "That's fine. Like, it's perfectly okay." But if you are like doing comparison of the value, make sure that, for me, I would say, by listening to what they're saying that, "Oh, I want them working on what she's currently or what he's currently working on, but tweaking all the stuff that's missing."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Program. So they're going to start you here, and then that's where they might know all this. So getting like a private tutor, they'll just actually say, "Okay, well, it looks like you know this, you know this, you know this. So this is the next step. So let's start there." And then plus you're going to get the same person each and every time.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's a lot of people don't think about that. They think, "Okay, well, I liked Teresa when we went. Where's Teresa?" And like, Teresa's not there, or Teresa has another person, because, and Sarah's a cool person, but Sarah is not Teresa. And
Right.
your kid really worked well with Teresa. So that's why I always say, if you are going to do it, make sure you do something that is going to be like more towards what your child needs. Or if you're an adult learner, do or so now you kind of mentioned a couple of things, but what do you think makes you unique?
Great question. Great question. So I feel what makes me unique is, I am those things that I was sharing. I think that I bring that to the table. I make sure to assess my students initially to see where they are, what are those gaps, and then I share that information with the parent to let them know, okay, these are the things that I'm seeing, and this is where they really truly are. And here is my plan for working with your child. I've been and prior to that, I also am a certified teacher in Virginia, and I've been working teaching reading for the past, oh my gosh, now, well, I was in the classroom for 19 years, and then now I've been doing my tutoring business since 2020. So, I've got a lot of good experience behind me, working with a variety of students, whether they're ESOL, special education, gifted. So I bring a lot of that knowledge in my toolkit to share and to help my students. In terms of flexibility, I am very flexible. I work with my parents because I know things happen. Um, so we kind of have like a plan of what we want to do, and if you need to contact me, whether it's texting, or however you feel, I'll work with you. But also just making sure, that what I am working with the child on, helping them to make sure that they can, you know, fill in those gaps, because if your child is having issues with comprehension, that's one of the things that I love to work with children on and help them with their comprehension, helping them with their fluency, helping them with those strategies and skills, and just being able to work with those kids. And my favorite part is after our time, whether it's 3 months or 6 months, just seeing that growth, and then I love it when I get those reviews back from parents that are saying, you really did help my child really grew, they're showing improvement in their school, things like that. So I just feel like I bring a special care to it. I enjoy helping children with their reading. It really excites me. It's like, oh wow, this child, all of a sudden they're starting to read, and it's a really cool thing to see. So, I just bring a variety of different things that can really help students to become stronger and more confident in their reading.
That's awesome. You're bringing you. You're bringing your personality, your essence, and your love for reading and creating,
Yeah.
and that's what the kids are, and the adults and the parents are. They're all going to sense that, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So now let's go with upcoming attractions. So, like, are you available? How? In fact, how do we reach you? Like, what
Definitely.
happens if someone wants you? Like, how do we reach Veronica?
Exactly, exactly. So I am like on most, I think, all social media platforms. So if you are interested in signing up for a free consultation, you can certainly go to my website, reachscholars.org, and click on free consultation to sign up for a free consultation. And then, pick a time that's best suited for your schedule to sign up for that. And we can just talk about your goals and how I can help your child to become a more confident and strong reader. Or you can go to Facebook, and I'm there under Reach Scholars Tutoring. You can find me there. I'm also on Instagram, Reach Scholars Tutoring, LLC. And I am on TikTok, Reach Scholars Tutoring. Um,
That's right.
I'm trying to get more posts on there. But it's easier for me to do Facebook and Instagram, so I just do that. But I'm also on there as well. So, or you can just email me as well. My email is reachscholarstutoring@gmail.com. So you can contact me there. You can look me up on Google. You can check out my reviews. So I think I'm everywhere now.
Right?
Yeah.
And don't forget LinkedIn.
Well, thank you for
I
reminding
was
me.
like trying to do the whole list
I know you. I see.
because we're going live on LinkedIn.
Yes, so I am
So
on
she's on
LinkedIn,
LinkedIn as
Veronica Reid under my name, so you can check me out there. You can send me a message as well. I tend to get a variety of different messages, so I would look forward to a parent if they're interested in reading services as well. You can send me a message there too.
yes. So I mean, just reaching out for you. And yes, I do have a lot of friends that do math, but I also have a lot of friends that do. 'Cause, 'cause we're going live on LinkedIn. 'Cause we're going live on LinkedIn as. 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 you need to do tutoring. If you're a person that's thinking about going back to school and you might need help with the math section because we all know the integrated math classes, they're pretty tough,
Right.
and it's tough at that so you can get into those accredited classes. Anything of that sort, go ahead and reach out. You can definitely reach out with me, ACG Math Tutoring. You can reach out if you're a tutor that you want to actually join in our group. I think I have that down here. That is the From the Classroom to Online Tutoring. It's a virtual community, which is still growing. We're at like 374 right now.
Hmm.
So it's like, really expanding, which is great. But again, if you're a parent and you just don't know where to start, maybe you're homeschooling your child and you want to have Veronica to kind of help out, go ahead and contact her. So again, this will be her Facebook. You can go for the Reach Scholars Tutoring. I think it's LLC now.
Hmm.
And then the Instagram, Reach Scholar Tutoring LLC. Or you can go with her email for Reach Tutoring at gmail.com. So, Veronica, thank you so much for this reunion.
Thank you, thank you. And I wanted to add one more thing. This is something that I'm going to be coming up with in January. I am going to be offering a demo class. I'm going to try to have an opportunity where if parents want to see what I'm doing with students, you can come. It'll be something that I'm going to do once a month, but I'm going to see. I'm going to try it out as an opportunity. It's just a way for parents just to see, you know, what what it's like when your child is working with me in the class. So I want you guys to check me out on social media. I'll be talking more about that, or you can sign up for a free consultation to learn more about that. But yeah, so that's going to be something that I'm going to be doing in January. It's going to be a free demo class, and it may be one child, it could be a group of students, but it'll be once a month, and it's just something where parents can kind of see what I'm doing with their child, to know, just to kind of get an idea of what it's like when your child is in the classroom working with me. So be on the lookout for that.
See? Right? See, this is why you gotta listen to the whole video, and if you're live, you should be hitting hashtag live. If you're watching a replay, you should be hitting hashtag replay because at the end, you get
Yes.
so if anything, we're gonna wrap. Thank you so much for coming in. I really greatly appreciate this.
Thank you,
Thank you
Audrey.
for the idea. That's how we're getting it done,
Yes, yes.
right? And for those that are here, please do not forget to just be patient with yourself and continue to be awesome. The world is changing, but you don't have to. Continue to love and be kind to each other. And I'll see you next week, in which will be just me for words before we jump into the new year. All
Mhm.
right, guys, take care and stay awesome. Bye now.